Good morning, everyone. Uh, I thank you all for joining the call. I'm very sorry. I think I did not hear my brother Emma very well. I was just wondering whether I should now begin talking more. I just need a feedback if you all can hear me. Maybe Merida, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. The theme for the week is going to be Mind Me, and my name is Angela Namuli. That is also my email right there, angelanamuli6@gmail.com. The theme, actually, I do feel that I am impressed to speak about mental health. It's one of the things that is disturbing our church and many youth in our time, but it seems to have very little attention. And so many people actually don't know much about mental health. And right now, the rise in cases of mental challenges and mental illnesses is, it's, how can I say, it's surprisingly high. But today, throughout this whole week, we shall be talking about mental health. We shall talk about patriarchs in the Bible who have had their portion of this challenge and how they managed to get out of it. What caused these mental challenges while they were there, and how did God help them out of it? Today, in particular, we are going to be sharing about a man called Saul. King Saul. I believe we all know about King Saul. This story is going to be majorly based from First Samuel chapter 13. And this man, he was a king, as I believe most of us know about him. Previously, we have been told that King Saul has been a bad man. Okay, there is very little good that is spoken about this man, but today I would love us to examine this man and look at his case in a different way and see there could be something that he actually was struggling with that most of us, we are not thinking about. In the chapter 13, King Saul had been ruling Israel for about 1 year. And in the second year, mind you, he's the first king of Israel. He was the first king of Israel. And he had just ruled for just 1 year. And in his second year of his reign, he had to fight a battle against the Philistines. Right there, God had given him rule. God had told him, do not fight. Do not go ahead to fight in that battle until Samuel the prophet comes. Because when he comes, that's when I'll give you victory. King Saul at that time had only 3,000 men. But the Bible explains to us that the Philistines, that is around in verse 5, the Philistines had gathered and they had 30,000 chariots, 6,000 horsemen, and people that couldn't be counted. The people were as many as the sands of the sea. And this is the battle that King Saul is facing to. He is going to fight. But has only 3,000. And God has told him, do not fight until I come. Now, just about this time at the battlefield, King Saul is freaking out because the army is, I don't know, his enemy is, you guys can understand. And Samuel, God told him to wait for 7 days until Samuel would come. 7 days passed, Samuel is not coming. His men are freaking out. His men started running in caves and everywhere. They are saying, no, we cannot handle this battle. And King Saul is like, what should I do? King Saul himself is also really freaking out. So what he did, he was like, you know what, I need the grace of God at this particular moment. He goes out and offers a sacrifice to God. But this was illegal. We all know this was only priest that was supposed to offer sacrifices to God. And Samuel, in the minute he offered that sacrifice, Samuel the prophet showed up. And he says, you've done very foolish. Because you've offered a sacrifice you're not supposed to do. You are supposed to be patient and wait for me to come. Just about at around that time, people had scattered. People had, and even King Saul was freaking out. Now, let's put that battle to a standstill. Saul had to fight so many other battles, but the conditions were really extreme, should I say. Sometimes God can really put you to that test, to the biggest of those tests, and you have to stand. So, and so just after that battle with King Saul, fighting very many other battles with the Philistines in very scary situations, and after some time, in chapter 16, we see because of the very many mistakes Saul did, but God takes away his spirit from him, and he was becoming king. So and it's tormenting him. But very many Bible scholars believe that on top of all that spirit, Saul was struggling with a mental illness because of it's called work stress. He was going through a lot of work stress, I should say. And I mean, you guys imagine you are in the face of battle. I was reading an article today, yesterday, and I was explaining how people who usually go in for battle struggle with stress because you go to battle and you are facing your enemy. You know that I either pierce this man with a sword or he pierces me and I will die. And when I pierce him, the next minute I turn around and see my brother, my friend, my neighbor has been killed and his mouth is oozing with blood. That is serious mental torture and they usually go through serious trauma. Bible scholars believe this man Saul went through the same, got serious mental challenges because of that. He got a tormenting spirit from God, but on top of that, he had serious mental challenges. I want to explain here. Um, all that work related stress. He was struggling with that's my slide. He was struggling with distrust. But distrust in medical language is called paranoia. He distrusted David because for no reason. At the time David was playing the harp for him to help him ease his discomfort. For no reason absolutely he wanted to pin David to the wall so many times. For no reason. It's something we cannot explain, you know. He was impulsive. There was even a time he wanted to kill his own son because he was siding with David. He had a raging temper. So many times he tries to run and kill David, but you know, he's sometimes David would have a chance to kill him and David didn't, but he would apologize and say, David, I see you've been a good man. But then the next minute, he's looking to kill David again. He had these shifting personalities. He was shifting between a good man, a good and understanding man. But then let me talk about work-related stress that we are going through. Sometimes we work so hard. You are piled up with so much work. And I wanted to say our bodies communicate. When I've eaten the wrong food, my stomach is going to pain. When maybe I've knocked my leg on a stone, my foot is going to communicate with pain. But when our minds are going through stress, there is simply no easy way to communicate. If something has fallen in my eye will pain and it will ooze tears. But if my mind is stressed, it's hard for it to communicate. And as we continue up to the last day of this presentation, I think will be next Sabbath, I will be trying to share how we can listen to our minds and understand how our minds are communicating, especially in times of stress. The one thing that we need to understand in order to avoid getting into mental torture or just a mental distress is to trust God. God is going to test us so much so that our minds simply cannot take it. But if we remember the patriarchs, the people who have gone through things, we should remember to trust God, because at the end of the day, God will come through for us. We shall learn how to meditate. This meditation, I believe, I will share much later in this coming discussion. But we also need to be patient. Yes, because our discussion tomorrow will be on a man of God who suffered so much loneliness that he went into depression. I requested to invite someone tomorrow. Today was something like an introduction. I pray that you can invite someone tomorrow and we talk more about mental health, and we relate it to our patriots, the people who have been here before us, who have struggled with it. I shall also share more about how we can handle it. And yeah, very much for listening to me. I really done my best to work within the time. I will pray. Father Lord, thank you for this time that you've given us to listen to your word about mental health. How I pray that you will help us to understand how to listen more to our minds and how to handle stressing situations. But I pray for the rest of the day and for everyone that is here, that you bless them in Jesus' name. I pray for you.